Okay, so we talked about atoms. Now we're going to get into atoms and what they make. Okay, atoms of the same type make up elements. Okay, in other words, elements are made up of the same type of atom. So if I took helium, which you can see right here, okay, that would only be made up of helium atoms. Okay, so this is the periodic table. It has all the known elements on it. Okay, this is what a element card looks like. It has different information that you can tell just by looking at certain things. You'll be able to figure out how many protons, neutrons, and electrons that an atom has just by looking at that card. Okay? Now, that first number is the atomic number. So you see that? That number tells me the number of protons in an atom. Carbon has 6 protons. Okay? Protons are positive. So it's also going to tell me the number of electrons that I have, because electrons are negative, and I know that if I want a stable atom, I've got to have 6 pluses and 6 negatives. So atomic number, the number at the top, the small number, tells me the number of protons in an atom. And it also tells me electrons, tells me positives and negatives. The next thing you have is the symbol for the element, which this element, the name is carbon, and the symbol is C, just a capital C. Now, the bottom number, that large number, is called the atomic mass. Atomic mass is always going to be the biggest number on your element card, okay, because it tells you the mass of the atom, how many things are in the nucleus of an atom, okay, and I know that protons and neutrons are located in the nucleus. Now, I also know that 6 of those things in my nucleus are already protons, because that's what my atomic number tells me. So if I have 12 things inside my nucleus, then I know that the other 6 are my neutrons. Okay? So I'm going to show you that on this the next slide. So just remember that atomic mass is your big number. That was 12.01. Now this is only for carbon. Okay? But the atomic mass number is always the decimal number. Okay? Okay, so let's say that my atomic number is 12.01 for carbon. Okay? I know by just looking at the card that my atomic number was 6. So I know that I have 6 protons inside my nucleus. Okay? Now, my atomic mass was 12. That means that I've got to have 12 things inside my nucleus. So 6 of them are already there. 6 of them are protons. So the other 6 are going to be my neutrons. I'm going to add in my charges. So here's my protons. I have 6 protons. And then my neutrons, remember, are neutral. They don't get a charge. Now, if I have 6 positives, I've got to have 6 negatives, right? So my electrons are going to go around the nucleus in the electron cloud on the shells. So I'm going to put 2 electrons here because that first ring can hold 2 and it's full. Now, I've got 2 there, so I've got to move to the next ring for the rest of my electrons. So I've got 2, I have 4 left. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So now I have a total of 6 electrons. And I'm going to go ahead and put the charge in those as well. Remember, however many positives you have to have negatives for what we're dealing with, because you want a stable atom. You want those charges to cancel each other out or balance each other out. So if you have 6 positives, you need 6 negatives. If you have 32 positives, you need 32 negatives for what we're going to be doing in class. Okay? Okay, so let's take a look at these. And just by looking at an element card, you need to be able to identify the atomic mass. So the atomic mass for magnesium, you need to be able to look at this and say 24.305. That's the atomic mass. For this one, you need to be able to look at that and say 69.732. That's the atomic mass. Okay? Now, same thing here. Remember, it is always the decimal number. It's always the larger number.